This man is Forbes 30 under 30 entrepreneur.
I just got the Fortune 40 under 40, by the way.
Companies like Unilever, Decathlon, Domino's, and even McDonald's rely on his SaaS technology for their logistics solutions.
If you look around you, let's say your clothes, your fashion accessories, every single thing gets to you via transportation and logistics. And we help these companies automate that process.
With over 200 clients across New Jersey, Mumbai, Jakarta, Delhi, and Dubai, they plan to digitize, optimize, and automate deliveries across the world.
As of now, we're very lucky to be in a double-digit $1 million revenue, and we are kind of growing significantly fast.
We are here in Mumbai to meet the founder and try to understand what goes behind running this SaaS business.
We have only been profitable for 1 year out of more than 8 years of being in business. After we break even, we have some more investment, something that we don't make money out of, but we just want to try new things so that we can stay ahead of the curve. It would be pretty stupid for a startup to raise money and not burn money. A very boring story because we are taking logistics to the next level. So we just called it Loginext. My background goes back to 2010. Did this master's education from US. 2012 to 2015, I worked in this e-commerce/cloud era, which is where one of the missing piece of the puzzle was home delivery. So that's what got me into logistics. If you look around you, let's say your clothes, your fashion accessories, every single thing gets to you via transportation and logistics. And we help these companies automate that process. First 2 years, we kind of largely spent on building a team, building the vision, getting some funding in place, building the initial customer base. And from 2018 onwards till date, we've been able to add more than 200 large companies as our customers. We are a great team of more than 250 people. As of now, we're very lucky to be in a double-digit $1 million revenue, and we are kind of growing significantly fast.
When do you realize that, okay, now we have to take a funding?
So inherently, we don't need a lot of money. Your business should have crossed that basic product market fit where more capital turns into growth. Now, there are some business models where you need capital. Let's say you have delivery, right, where you're trying to change behavior. Let's say this, a classic example is a whole 10-minute delivery window. So you do need to give some promotions for consistently 1, 2, 3 years in a highly competitive market so that people start getting addicted to this 10-minute delivery window concept. And that's why those businesses can turn that investment into customer loyalty.
So talking about capital, how much money has Loginext raised till now?
We have raised more than $100 million of primary capital.
Can you tell us how does Loginext work?
One of our clients, which is McDonald's, you place an order either on the McDonald's, their proprietary McDonald's app, or you place an order on Swiggy or Zomato. You receive a tracking URL either on the McDonald's app or on your phone with an SMS. What happens in the background is what Loginext controls. There is a store manager who has these various screens where the orders organically flow in. That platform is directly connected to the Loginext platform. And what the Loginext platform does is all the orders, it automatically assigns to the riders that are in and around that store so that they can pick it up quickly and deliver it to the end customer, which would be you guys. Standard reduction across average is a 30% improvement in delivery efficiency. Then further optimization takes place according to each use case.
So can you explain me the various use cases that goes in the deliveries?
If you have too many specifications, let's take the example of Starbucks. What happens is a cold beverage cannot be stored with a hot beverage. We need to plan the order in such a way that the SLA is satisfied and none of the orders, the hot beverage does not get cold and the cold beverage does not get warm. That is something that we have to manage on the basis of the real-time data that we have. Traffic data, route planning. So for example, if your order management system does not end up working, that does not mean that you can't do your delivery. You can just upload the order information directly as an Excel sheet into our platform and all of those orders will still be intact.
So what will happen if there's a shortage of drivers?
One fix that we have in-house where we are allowing a parent-child hierarchy of the branches. If the New Delhi branch is the parent branch and it has 25 to 30 riders and the other two branches have 10 riders, it can loan riders from the New Delhi branch inbuilt inside the system. It's called rider sharing and we have that enabled in this platform itself.
So can you name some of your clients?
We have McDonald's, we have Pizza Hut and we have Starbucks. We have Malta Post, which is the national postal provider for the country of Malta, and we have worked with Singapore Post and Lion Parcel in the past. So we have UPS and DHL.
That's a crazy client base, I must say.
Can you tell me how Loginext as a company makes money?
We charge based on per order to our customers. So that order when gets created in customer system, it comes to our software via APIs, and then we do the whole driver selection, route planning, dispatch, tracking, customer experience and all of it. And then we kind of send the details back into customer system. For that one order processed, we charge 10 10 cents per order. Our average customer size is where an average customer would process about 15 to 20 million orders per year. That comes to about $500,000 per year is what we make per customer.
So considering Loginext operates in the B2B space, what does the revenue model looks like?
We bill our customers every quarter, every half yearly, or every annual. So we have 3 plans. Again, because these are enterprises and mid-sized businesses where they don't change decisions very quickly. So once they have used something, they are very highly likely to use it for at least a few months in worst case situation.
So now we know that how the money comes in, but where does it go?
Almost 70% of our cost is salaries and compensation to people. Then the second one comes is our cloud infrastructure, and that cloud hosting cost, which has networking cost, hosting, security, even internet cost, like the input output speed and whatnot. All of that combined becomes the second biggest cost. The third biggest cost, I would say, is the customer support cost. And the fourth one comes is the office space.
How does marketing work for software companies like Loginext?
So number one thing that we don't do is ads.
Ads, yeah.
None of the ads run for a bit. We largely focus on SEO. On top of it, there's a lot of offline marketing.
How did you get your first clients?
I was a speaker at one of the supply chain events in Mumbai, and the other co-panelists were the VP supply chain of Flipkart and the COO of Walmart and me. So that kind of directly puts you in a limelight, and again a credibility, because you're sharing stage with some of the people who have kind of built great careers in this domain, and those two also eventually became our customers because I could speak to them before the panel. Then we do a demo, then we do a commercial negotiation in terms of how much they want to buy, at what price they want to buy. Then we sign a contract and we start rolling out.
So Dhruvil, I would love to know how much revenue is Loginext making?
Average customer pays between $250K to $500,000 per year in subscription fees. We work with close to 200 enterprise customers across the world, called subscription revenue. Sometimes roughly less than 10% of our revenue comes from a services component. Just like even Uber, Swiggy, Zepto, all of them, they have driver training consistently happening. They say, why don't you come and just train it, because you already have people who know your software. We charge between $50,000 to $200,000 for such training programs also, for a fleet size which is large enough, roughly in the tune of 1,000 drivers or plus. So we have only been profitable for 1 year out of the more than 8 years of being in business. We are considered a high gross margin business. After we break even, we have some more investment, something that we don't make money out of, but we just want to try new things so that we can stay ahead of the curve. That's where we burn that cash that we raise money. It would be pretty stupid for a startup to raise money and not burn money.
I want to know that being a SaaS platform, what technology powers you and how are you integrated the AI revolution that is coming?
Behind the scenes, we use AI in our route planning algorithms, right? So a lot of stuff that we do is around figuring out what the shortest path is across multiple points. There are traffic considerations that we take on top of it. There are driver behavioral patterns. There are customers' order preferences. So those are the kind of things we use.
So what were your biggest setbacks in the company?
A founder journey usually is a bunch of setbacks together. When we had our first day and I had hired the first full-time team member, we had kind of done a lot of flowery storytelling kind of a thing, and unknowingly you end up pitching them too much, which creates false expectations in their mind. The person joined on day one and realized that probably half the vision thing that this guy told me was probably not true, and that person left the same day. But that teaches you a lesson that you give reality first to your team members, right? One of the other mistakes we have made to not pitch in the right markets. Slowly over the years, I got the true understanding of what TAM means, right? I had this false understanding reading from market research report that the TAM of logistics in India is some $1 trillion, $1 billion, God knows, right? And that's always wrong. You end up acquiring wrong customers, you end up building wrong things, and you're just spending money on all that cycle to ultimately realize it is not big enough.
Is there any way that you figure out, okay, this is my TAM?
Observe your customers' behavior and try to find a cohort in it. This is called a bottom-up way of calculation. For us, we cannot say logistics is our market. We are selling to home delivery businesses for food and beverage industry and retail industry. And then you find how many such customers exist in one geography in this industry wanting to buy home delivery. Multiplying that, whatever number comes, is your actual addressable market.
So Dhruvil, how does the competition in the logistic industries look like and how do you tackle it?
So we have roughly 50 companies across the world. One of them is Oracle, which has a transportation management software as well. It's one of the first transportation software in the world. 90% of them are long tail companies. That means they do less than $1 million of revenue. And the other top 5, which is where we are, they do more than 20-30 million revenue. One of our key differentiator against our competition is that we are the only end-to-end platform, and we are the only one which is highly configurable. You can tune this software for a first mile business. You can also run first mile, middle mile. You can also run first mile, middle mile, and last mile. You can run a 10-minute delivery operations on it. You can run a 3-day delivery operations on it as well. You can run it for food and beverage. You can run it for retail business. So some of the conglomerates who buy us, they have grocery stores as well as food stores. They have also B2B fulfillment. So for them, such software works better so that they don't have to have different softwares for different parts of their business.
Like, what if I were to start a company like Loginext? What would my initial years look like?
Many more number of investors are investing into SaaS businesses. Launch faster, have much more understanding about SaaS. Your platform should inherently have infrastructure which keeps customers' data private and is compliant to local data privacy laws as well.
So what's like the missing factor like one should cover if you're looking to start a company in this space?
I think one of the key opportunities is to solve driver shortage problem, especially in countries like India or other emerging markets. This could be a great opportunity for tier 3, tier 4 workforce to come into urban areas to fulfill these needs.
Even day-to-day, a normal logistic company needs a good trusted driver who they can rely on.
Absolutely. Otherwise, you end up with safety issues, pilferage happens and whatnot if your goods are not. And sometimes these goods are very expensive goods also.
Thank you for giving us great insights.
Thank you for coming all over from Gurgaon, right? Or Delhi?
Yeah,
Gurgaon.
Gurgaon.
Thank you so
It
much.
was worth it.
Lovely speaking to all of you. Worth it for us as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you.